that's a running issue.
So I just want to keep on saying is that, from the time I came into government, healthcare is my priority. I think that if you look at every single speech that we've given and we've spoken about, that this is a critical issue. Even in opposition, we spoke about it. And we've gone through the process of where is Cabinet's head. Cabinet has basically said, one, that we've accepted the proposal to statutize the OKEU, right? So we've gone ahead to be able to implement that. That was a decision that had already been made. The second decision that we had to consider was the implementation of an increase in the NIC contributions, which currently is at 10%. The proposal was to move it to 15%. Cabinet was not in agreement with that because we felt that while that might be able to generate sufficient funds to be able to cover the healthcare cost, but it would not make it accessible by the average St. Lucian. So people who currently don't have access to healthcare, by putting on the NIC contribution and improving the quality of the hospitals, they're still not going to have access. So it becomes a matter of affordability. And it's for that reason that Cabinet has been now moving to introduce a national healthcare insurance policy. So what we want to do is we want to create a system where every single St. Lucian, let me repeat that, every single St. Lucian will have healthcare insurance in this country, which means that no longer do St. Lucians have to consider or question whether they should go to see the doctor and whether they're going to have enough money for the medicine afterwards. This is a game changer. This now empowers every single St. Lucian to have access to health care. That is what we're working on. And so the goal has been to have healthcare insurance legislation approved by the end of this year and to be able to implement the insurance policy program by April. While we're doing that, now we want to be able to move into OKEU, and we have been gradually moving into OKEU. Every new department that the government puts in, government is now carrying the cost itself of that, of moving into OKEU, while we continue to cover the cost at Victoria. So the goal is eventually to be able to close down Victoria as a hospital and to be able to transfer everything into the OKEU. And I'm hoping that that will coincide with the introduction of the healthcare insurance. Once the healthcare insurance is up and running and we've moved into the OKEU, the focus of government becomes twofold. One, in the quality and the variety of medical procedures that we can offer here in St. Lucia. And number two is in preventive healthcare. So getting people to focus on eating better, getting people to focus on healthier lifestyles. The third issue, really, which is completely unattached. And so let's say that while everybody puts this in a big bucket as being all part of healthcare, from a development perspective, they're all separate. So one was a choice between NIC contribution or healthcare insurance. We prefer healthcare insurance. One choice was, are we going to run OKU exactly the same way that we're running Victoria, or are we going to create a statutized body? So the former government agreed to create the statutized body. We agree with that. We think that it works very well for St. Jude's, and it would work very well for OKU. The third component now really is St. Jude's. So the issue with St. Jude's is when we came in, the initial goal was to downsize the ambition of St. Jude's in order to be able to have it completed by the end of 2016, in order to be able to move the people over from the stadium. The analysis that we have done has shown that whatever we do to try to fix up the existing facility is going to be substandard, meaning that in order to be able to move in, we're going to have to accept substandard standards. Now, when I spoke to some of the engineers who've been public about what they think the solution is going to be, my simple question to them is, who is going to stand there every day and make the determination as to what standards you're not willing to meet? And then secondly, who is going to be the person that's prepared to sign off on that? Because that's what it's going to take. And so whatever cost estimates that you want to make in solving the problem becomes questionable, because every day you're going to have to determine whether in fact you're willing to live a substandard. Because the building has major flaws, has an air circulation problem, the size of the hallways, the makeup of the operating tables. And we have a report that was done by a major company, FDL. FDL has over 170 engineers working for them. They're the #1 engineering firm for CDB. They have brought in people from around the world with hospital experience to tell us what we can do and what we cannot do. So if in fact we are to fix St. Jude's and make it to an international level, the estimates are showing that it's going to cost us in excess of $120 million. And it's going to take over 15 to 16 months to be able to do that. Sorry, a year and a half to do that. We do have companies that have made offers to us. What we're waiting for is for those official proposals, because I don't listen to what people have to say to me. I mean, I listen, but until somebody actually puts a pen to paper and gives me a document in which I know exactly what we're negotiating and I can determine the veracity of the offer, then I'm going to be able to move. Minister Joseph said to you last week that we're hoping that within the next 30 days that we'll be able to definitively say how we're going to solve the problem at St. Jude's. I want to make it clear to all St. Lucians, this is a priority for us. There's no way that anybody in my government accepts the standard that's taking place at the stadium. It breaks my heart to think that we might be in the stadium for at least another year and a half to 2 years. But that is the reality. I do not have the ability of snapping my fingers and making what was done undone. And you're dealing with something that is technically very sophisticated. So the question becomes, is it cheaper to fix up the existing facility, or is it cheaper to start and build something new? I said, I went to Cayman. I saw a world-class hospital that was built in 1 year. I mean, here we are with OKU. We started construction at OKU in 2009. 2018, we're still looking to move in. We're talking about St. Jude's. I mean, the opposition needs to be ashamed of themselves. And I'm sorry to say this, have lost all credibility in passing any comments about anything to do with St. Jude's. They failed the people of this country. They have no right to even make the suggestion that they care about the health care of the people of this country. For 5 years, all they did was spend money and lie and tell us how it's going to be fixed and how this is coming, and it did not happen. Now, I don't harp on that because I try to fix the things I can control in moving forward. But it's disgusting that they would even attempt to politicize this situation. And I'm sorry, it is fear-mongering. It is a bad enough situation. But my government is absolutely committed to solving this problem. I take it very seriously. And there's no way that the plans that we have for the South can include a subpar hospital. And no way that the people in the South who have waited all this time should be given a subpar hospital. And my government will not stand for that. And we will do what's the best interest for the people as quickly as we possibly can. But right now I'm having to find an extra $70 million for OKU and another $120 million possibly in order to get the hospital solved in the South. You don't hear me complaining. I don't have the money, but I will find the money. We will make it happen because it's a priority.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you very much. You wanted to Thank you. Thank you, members of the media. That's a wrap for today. Thank you.